Most people fail to reach their goals. This has happened to me. I've seen it with my clients. I've seen it with my friends. Why do some of us reach our goals and others do not? Why do some goals feel much easier to reach while others, we just kind of keep getting off course? Let's dive into this topic today. I've always enjoyed setting goals and learning about goals and really understanding kind of the mechanics behind it. Our goals have to inspire us. They have to motivate us to keep going when times get tough. Because I guarantee you, as you set new goals, times will get tough where you will want to stop. So the trick is, how do we have leverage on ourselves in those moments when you want to stop to keep going? I think the secret is, how do we use our emotions as a guide to keep our goals at the forefront and keep going when times get tough? I think our emotions give us that charge, that energy, that excitement to keep going in the face of adversity. So ultimately, I believe that the more emotionally invested we are in our goals, the more apt we are to pursue and achieve them. How do we get this feeling of being charged emotionally by our goals? Well, first, I think our goals need to mean something to us. Inspiration is very different than motivation. I believe inspiration comes from within. It comes from the heart. It intrinsically matters to us, where motivation comes after you have that inspiration. So motivation is something that you have to feed and get momentum with and keep going, where inspiration is from within. So when it comes to inspiration, I can't give you the goal. I can't tell you this should be your goal, especially around money when we think about that. Yeah, it would be a good idea to pay off debt. Yeah, it would be a good idea to save for your future. But if you don't care about those things emotionally, if you're not concerned about that and hitting those goals for your future, they're not going to work. So they have to be your goals. So I think that's the first key here is, what do you want with your financial future? When you look out into your future, what are the things that are exciting for you? What are the things that you really want to go after? And if it is getting out of debt, then how is that emotionally going to feel once you're out of debt? You know, most of us want this feeling of freedom, but what does that really mean? Does it mean that you have more money each month to spend on things that you enjoy and you love? Does it mean that you don't have to be getting that angst feeling of anxiety when the credit card bill shows up and you don't even know what the balance is, or you're afraid to open it? You have to start thinking about, what do you want to be freed from? And then what's the emotion that you're heading to? What are those emotions that you're wanting to get to? So yes, freedom, but is it joy? Is it an energy that you're not like being held captive by your debt? You know, start examining those thoughts. And it's not just freedom, it's something more than that. So when you can get to the more than that, that emotion, then you start having leverage on yourself. Then you can say, when things get tough, when I want to stop, when it feels hard, when you've had a bad day, you can come back to these emotions and say, I remember now. I want to do this because I want to feel this way. I want to feel light. I want to feel joyous. I don't want to, have this overwhelming anxiety and overwhelm with my money because I don't feel like I'm in control of it. So I think as a recap, in part one is understand your goals. And more than that, understand what's emotionally charged about them. So we can kind of dig down and find that why of that emotion behind your goals. You will start to then become more vested emotionally in achieving those goals. Okay, so part two of this is goals need to be very specific. They need to be able to be measured. And I find it very helpful to have a deadline. So I love to live in a world where I have 90-day goals. Yes, I can think out a year and say, okay, what are the things that I want to have accomplished? If I look out a year from now, what has to happen for me to feel, like really juiced and really good about the progress I've made over the last year. And then I take that information and I say, okay, what has to happen in the next 90 days? Because in the next 90 days, it's immeasurable. There's a deadline with it. It's specific. So, for example, if we stay in the theme around money and let's say savings. So a goal could be, hey, I want to save more money for my future. All right. How emotional charged is that? Not very much. And it's also not measurable at the end of 90 days. Sure, you can say, did I save money? But it's not really specific. A better goal would be, I am going to save $1,000 a month for the next 3 months, 90 days. So at the end of 90 days, I'm going to have $3,000 that I can use for what's important to me, what I value. That could be savings. That could be an investment. It doesn't matter what it is. You'll know what it is because it's important to you. And then lastly, I would say you need to have belief in your goals. You need to have faith in your goals. Faith that you can reach them. Faith that they will happen for you. Faith that when things come in as roadblocks or, something out of the blue comes up, that you can find back your center and find that belief and faith that you have the answers to move forward. That even if you get sidetracked, that's not a detriment to your goal. It's just, you just got to go around it. You just got to okay, well, how do I learn from this and how do I keep going? We're not perfect. There will never be perfection in our goals. But the fact that you're taking those imperfect action steps, which creates the momentum, which will guide you to your goals. So your goals should feel good to you and actually get you out of bed in the morning, get you excited. And what I have found for goals that, you're really emotionally charged about, it is excellent to have accountability. So a lot of us maybe don't want to talk about our goals, and it could be for fear of not accomplishing your goals. But the more that you talk about it, the more that you share it with a loved one, share it with a partner, share it with an accountability coach or a mentor or an advisor, the more that we talk about our goals, the more that they come alive, the more that you have that commitment and that faith to move forward towards those goals. That is key. So I would encourage you to write about your goals, hold yourself accountable to a trusted person with your goals. You can share it on social if you are that type of person that loves to do that. You will know what it is for you. We're all different. And I think the more that we can keep setting these little 90-day goals that roll up into your outcomes of what you want a year from now, that then roll up into your life aspirations and your vision, the more that we continually keep that momentum going. And momentum really is the engine to accomplishing your goals in life. So I would love to hear, what goals do you have? You could share them in the comments below. You can share them on social with me. Let me be your accountability person. I would love to hear what you're going after in the next 90 days and support you on that journey. And specifically with your goals, what emotional connection are you attaching to them? Like, what does this really mean to you? How does that give you energy and fuel you towards that goal?